Sports are unlike any other industry.
Hi, and welcome back to Aztecs Talks. My name is Patrick, and today we're going to be looking at the incredible world of business expressions, and particularly ones that are related to sports. Okay, so we're going to look at different sports and all of the expressions that come with them. So let's take a look.
Okay,
You ready?
let's go. I'm ready.
All right, I'm gonna drop it.
I'm ready.
1, 2,
Okay.
3. Oh, see?
Call the police.
Firstly, why are there so many sports-related idioms in business? Well, sport is a competition, and so is business. So maybe the two being linked, it makes it very easy for business people, competitive people, to use and relate to another competitive activity. So they kind of go hand in hand. They're very related, and it's very easy to use sports-related expressions in the everyday business language. And yeah, studies have suggested that up to 50% of business idioms come from sports of different varieties. So let's take a look at sports and see what expressions we can come up with. Firstly, let's look at baseball. So maybe baseball isn't your favorite sport, but there are lots of expressions that we use in business English that are really useful that come from baseball. So
It's gonna cost you.
Oh, yes, of course. All right, here we go. Give me a ballpark figure. How much?
first one is a ballpark figure. A ballpark figure. Now, this means an estimated number. Okay, so one that is not precise, it is not exact. So for example, can you give me a ballpark figure on the cost of this project? I would say that if I don't know exactly how much it's going to cost, I would ask that question. Next one. To touch base. To touch base. So we use this verb to touch base to make contact with someone. Okay, so for example, if you want to check on how they are doing, how they are progressing in a project or whatever it may be, then you can use to touch base. So for example, let's start this project today and we can touch base on it next week.
Step in the box, son. Step up to the plate.
And the next one is to step up to the plate. To step up to the plate. And this one, it means to come to bat in baseball, but in business English it means to take responsibility for what you're doing. Okay, so yeah, to seize the moment, to take the responsibility, and to seize the moment. That's pretty much it. So for example, if you step up to the plate, if you seize the responsibility of a project. So my colleague stepped up to the plate in the last project and delivered a fantastic presentation.
Miller takes off, swing and a miss on a curve for number 5.
And the last one is a curveball. A curveball. So a curveball is when the pitcher throws it in baseball and it doesn't go straight. It bends, okay? And in business English, a curveball is an unexpected surprise and is usually not positive. So it's usually a bad thing. So yes, for example, the client threw a curveball or gave us a curveball when they reduced the budget on the project.
Houston, we have a problem.
And from those expressions, maybe a typical mistake that could be made is, for example, to add extra words to the expression. So, for example, a mistake would be, we need to touch the base. We need to touch the base. No, we need to touch base without the. We need to touch base next week, for example. Now, let's move on to another sport, another American sport, which is basketball. Okay, so in basketball we have a few expressions that we can use, some really useful ones in there as well. So let's take a look at the first one.
McConnell, pick and roll, Morant. Holy cow!
Which is a slam dunk. A slam dunk. So a slam dunk in basketball is when you dunk the ball directly into the net, okay? And a slam dunk in business English is like a guaranteed success, okay? There's no way you can fail, okay? So for example, yeah, this project is a slam dunk. It is absolutely 100% going to be a success. You cannot miss in this project. You cannot fail. It's going to be a success. It's going to be a slam dunk.
Shit, I was just following the man's lead. He wants a full court press, man.
Another one or another expression could be a full court press. So a full court press isn't one we use every day, but it means when maximum effort is required. So in basketball, it's when everyone attacks together. So in business English, it's kind of the same. So you have maximum effort required. Everyone needs to work together and move forwards together. Yeah, so for example, we need a full court press to meet the deadline.
By Simmons, is this the dagger?
And one more expression that could be used is a buzzer beater. A buzzer beater. So a buzzer beater is when you score points as the final buzzer or the final whistle goes in basketball. So yeah, it's kind of the same in business English as well. So a buzzer beater is when you finish something at the last second. So for example, we submitted the report on a buzzer beater. And let's move on to the next sport. And the next sport is football, or if you're in the US or in continental America, soccer. There are lots of expressions that we can use, and I'm going to offer a few here. The first one is a really interesting one that is not known by everyone, but it is to move the goalposts. So the goalposts are, of course, where the area that marks where you can score a goal. And if you move the goalposts, you change the rules, usually in an unfair or unjust way. Okay, so yeah, in business English, we can use it as to move the goalposts on a project, to move the goalposts on regulations or norms in the workplace. So, for example, my boss has moved the goalposts on this project. So it no longer has the goals or the objectives that I had been working towards. And usually it indicates a little bit of frustration and unfairness involved in that expression.
Let the judgment begin. I'll get the ball rolling.
And here is another one that is very commonly used in business English, which is to get the ball rolling. Okay, to get the ball rolling. And I'm sure maybe you've heard this in meetings before if you conduct your business in English. But to get the ball rolling simply means to get started. Okay, and yes, this is like a football or soccer idiom, but we can use it in any ball sport essentially. But to get the ball rolling means to start something. So yeah, at the beginning of a meeting, very often after the small talk, you will hear, right, let's get the ball rolling. Let's make a start. So yeah, to get the ball rolling, to start something.
I'm gonna kick it off.
And the next one is to kick off. To kick off. Maybe you've heard this as well in your relations, even in Spanish as well. To kick something off is to start something. It's very similar to get the ball rolling, but to kick off usually indicates to start something with good momentum. So to begin an event, to kick off an event, usually you want some energy, some impetus involved in the starting of that event or that or that project, that kind of thing. For example, the event will kick off at 9 a.m. So that's when the first person will speak, or that's when everyone needs to be in their positions to start the event.
What's that? It's a game changer.
And one more, and this is related to people, and it's a game changer. A game changer. So it's related to people in sports. So for example, if Messi comes on as a substitute, he is usually a game changer. He's a game-changing player. He will change the game. In business, we can relate this to events, or to systems, or to technology, and also to people. So for example, AI is a game changer in business. AI is a game changer in business. It has revolutionized the way we do business. So yeah, a game changer can be related to people, or things, systems, technology, events, and it comes from sports in general and top players.
Houston, we have a problem.
And a typical mistake that we see in, well, particularly one of these expressions comes in to get the ball rolling. To get the ball rolling is, of course, to start something. But a mistake here would be to use the verb to start in this expression. So to start, to get the ball rolling. To start is redundant. We don't need it. So simply to get the ball rolling, to start a project.
Hurts has time. Now locates Barkley at the backfield. Barkley slips 2 tackles and picks up the first down. Jumping up in the...
And we'll look at one more sport before we finish. Okay, so we're gonna, well, it's actually really two, because they're kind of similar in tactics. So we're gonna look at rugby and also American football. Okay, so these are tough, strategic sports. All right.
Now you can step into it. Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line. And the ball is caught! Caught!
It's Noah Brown! Oh my goodness! And we're going to look at one expression in particular, which is a Hail Mary. And a Hail Mary is a desperate last-minute attempt. Okay, so in rugby it could mean that you kick the ball as far as you can up the pitch and try to score. In American football, it would be a very long throw in the last minute in a desperate attempt to score points. Okay, so a Hail Mary in business is kind of, yeah, a project that maybe doesn't have all that much hope. So you're just doing it and you're praying that it works. Okay, so for example, yeah, this is our last chance to impress the client. This project is a Hail Mary. We're going to give it everything. We're going to hope and we're going to pray that everything works, but we don't know. Another expression here that works in both of these sports is to take the ball and run with it. To take the ball and run with it. I often replace the word ball with whatever it is that you have and run with it. So for example, it could be an idea. So if someone mentions an idea in a meeting, and yeah, I could say, look, yeah, let's take that idea and run with it. Just replace the word ball with the idea or the project or whatever it may be. But yeah, it's a really useful expression to develop an idea, okay, to make an idea reality. There we have some expressions in business English related to different sports. There are many, many more out there, and yeah, you can investigate some in your own time and try to apply them to your business situations that you have in your everyday job. I have a good one that is from a sport that I hold dearly in cricket, and it is to be stumped. To be stumped, and to be stumped means to not know what to do. Okay, so for example, if you have no idea how to progress in a project, you say, "Oof, I'm stumped. I don't know how to progress here. So I'm stumped," which is a really nice expression to say, I don't know how to progress. But there's an extra one for you from another sport. So let's move on to the do's and don'ts of using expressions in in business English, so particularly to do with sport. Okay, and we do use them regularly, but I think, yes, use them, have fun with them, enjoy them, use them as much as you can, but I would suggest not overusing them. Don't use them and abuse them, but yeah, I would use them when you can, when the time is right, and also translating directly. So maybe you use sports expressions in your own language. Very often the direct translations don't work. So what I would suggest is to learn the ones that we do use in English, become comfortable with them, and use them when they're appropriate in your position. But yeah, I wouldn't improvise when you're trying to impress. So I would learn them, understand the context, and then use them when they're appropriate, and don't overuse them in your meetings.
Do you understand?
And that's it for this episode. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you can take away a couple of expressions that you've learned today related to sports in the world of business. And there are many more out there, so I encourage you to investigate, to look some more up, and yeah, and maybe you can implement them into your next ventures in English. So hopefully you can use them, and yeah, we look forward to hearing your suggestions in the comments, and yeah, just keep trying to use them where they are appropriate. Don't overuse them, as I had suggested, but yeah, have fun with them, because they're nice to listen to, and also to incorporate into your English.
Goodbye.
We'll see you next time. Thank you for listening. My name is Patrick, and thanks for listening, and we'll see you again soon. Goodbye.